Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another Monday Maple Musings, or Triple M as she be known, where we take a look at the subreddit of MapleStory over the last week and we see what's been going on. Unsurprisingly, this week, I think it's going to be a lot of people complaining about Tanjiro, complaining about the rollbacks, complaining about the NX situation stuff, but we'll see what's actually at the top, because I don't know. I've just, what can I say? I refreshed the subreddit quite a bit. I'm a little bit, how you say, terminally online. Oh yeah, I drew a turtle. I usually don't look at meme posts, but this just made me laugh. It's just a turtle, man. I thought it was cute. Of course, the comments are exactly what you would expect. It's a bunch of people going, "What? Your highest level's 249? Lol, what are you doing?" And it's like, okay, bro, chill. Is it how I would play the game? No, but it's how they're playing the game, and it doesn't really matter. And they made a fucking turtle, and I think that's funny. So, I don't know. I think it's funny. Let's take a look here. There's probably good discussion in here, even though that's a meme, so I'm gonna open that anyways. Open this. God, this guy is something else. The threads this guy is making is true, but this guy himself is unhinged, so... I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, do as I say, not as I do. Because this guy basically has made a ton of these fucking Nexon shitpost hate threads over the last week. And like the core content of these posts here, let's start with this post since I'm talking about it right now. So these posts he's been making, they're not wrong per se, but this guy, like, you can see he's a little in the sauce. And he obviously spent a shitload of money on vac pets. He had a post about where he was buying vac pets and shit. He obviously deleted it once he started making these threads. And then obviously he has this picture of 3 fucking little Tanjiros with swords. My friend, quotation marks, you know? But this guy is very unhinged in the sense that it just seems like bitching to bitch. Not so much bitching because you think the practices are bad necessarily. But I don't know. I don't know how to feel about scenarios like this, because it's like the core content of what he's saying isn't wrong. It's just the guy who's saying it is kind of insufferable. It's like, do as I say, not as I do. Because he's sitting here, next on this, next on that. They're fucking false advertising. This is bad. They don't give coupons. They don't give the right rates. They're not refunding. File FTC complaints. All this other fucking insane bullshit. But on the other hand, the guy is spending hundreds upon hundreds of dollars rolling for vac pets. It just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like if you want to make posts like this and try to rally the community behind things, you can't also be dumping hundreds of dollars into the same issues that you're complaining about. Am I crazy for saying that? But it is interesting. And obviously people have different interpretations of like what these things even mean. I don't know, man. It just seems like trying to find things to complain about more than actually caring so much about what the issues are. But yeah. And then you can see he's done another... Like I said, there's just so many of these posts. I'm just so tired of seeing them because of who it's coming from and how, like, minor of these issues it is. Like, is it stupid that the little Nezuko ribbon doesn't actually show anything because little Nezuko herself just has the ribbon showing? Yeah, for sure. Here, I can even show you in-game. If I do this. Because I have little Nezuko. You can kind of see little Nezuko right there. I don't have the accessory on little Nezuko. But you can see she has the ribbon. The ribbon is supposed to be visual, and the other items are visual. Like if you give the sword to Tanjiro or the sword to Zenitsu, they'll carry the sword. But for some reason, little Nezuko's model just has the ribbon on her. And in Reboot, there is no reason to get pet accessories. At least in regular server, you can scroll them, right? But in Reboot, it's just completely a cosmetic thing. I don't know. But it just, this is what I mean. Like, shit like this seems so... like, he's not wrong, but he's just annoying. I don't know. But here's a post from a different man's who's upset, which is rightfully so. This is one of the big things that happened. There's a couple different things that happened. There was minor rollbacks on the first day of Tanjiro. A lot of people are upset about that, rightfully so. There's a Philosopher book issue, which is what this post is about. So this post is about the Philosopher book thing. So Philosopher books, which were advertised to contain certain items, did not actually contain those items, which was confirmed by the GMs below. So basically what happened was the Philosopher books were not missing items, but they had more items than they should have in their loot pool, right? And at first, like, glance, maybe you're thinking, okay, well, that's not so bad. Well, it kind of is bad because if you add more items to the loot pool, it dilutes the things that people thought were in the pool, right? So you have a lower chance of getting the things that maybe you're trying to pull. That's the problem. And initially, Nexon was like, well, we don't know what to do. We'll refund you. JK, we won't refund you. JK, we will refund you, okay? So basically, at the time, they were still between whether they were or weren't going to refund people. At this point of me recording this video, they've confirmed that they're refunding people. Some people are mad that they're getting the refund in Maple points, but I don't actually think that's a large issue, and the reason why they're doing it is because you've already spent the Nexon cash, which gives you things like reward points and MVP status points. So if you've already bought the item and you're getting a refund, logic dictates you should either... I mean, you spent the money initially, right? I don't know. I could understand it if it was like a service that wasn't as described, rather than you just gambling on a gamble box and then finding out that the gamble box was kind of fucked up. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel on it, honestly. I don't think refunding in Maple points is necessarily a bad thing, though, because they were never going to fully refund your money purchase to begin with, right? And you already spent the Maple or the Nexon cash on these items in the first place, so refunding it in the MapleStory Maple point currency, I don't think is that big of a deal, I guess, is what I'm gonna say. But I've seen a couple people who've tried to make it out to be like the end of the world or whatever, but I don't know. So many people are just like, I don't know. What item? Stop giving Nexon your money. See, this is the real thing. If you feel strongly about this stuff, and again, let me be clear, I'm not saying that this like stuff is acceptable or anything, because it's not, but this is really what you need to be doing, right? It's much easier said than done, but you cannot be somebody who's like upset about these things and complaining about these things, and then also still, while you're complaining about it, giving them more money for the gamble boxes or the things that are like issues. And yeah, they are offering refunds, we already know, but at the time of this post, they were still up in the air about what they were going to do, probably because it was the weekend. You know how it works. But it just, all these people call up the FTC, we're going to sue them, let's make a class action lawsuit. Like, come on, man. Let's be fucking for real here for a second. But I don't know, maybe I'm just too chill about things because I don't have the energy to get mad at every little thing that ever happens, ever. I don't know, man. This, my attitude for the event, me not succumbing to FOMO and torturing myself to grind a Tanjiro because I'm a chill guy and I play MapleStory the way I want to. So a lot of people are very upset about the Tanjiro event for a couple different reasons. One, the class is very not good to grind. And you have to grind the class, right? You can't just get it to 260 by doing dailies. And even if you did only want to do dailies, honestly, it fucking sucks ass to do dailies. My Monster Park run on my Tanjiro at 230 was taking like 3-minute runs. Holy shit, that was terrible. I'm weak as fuck on that class. Could I make it stronger? For sure, but I still don't think I'd be able to get it down to a one-shot at 230, which is crazy to me. And it has like level 7 arcane symbols and shit. I don't know, man. And I even put in arcane power to be overcapped on arcane power. I don't know. It's crazy. But a lot of people are upset because I think a lot of people were like, oh yeah, it's a free 260. Yippee. But it's not. And I mean, we had the information to know that it wasn't necessarily a quote-unquote free 260. But I think a lot of people didn't realize that. And now that they're getting the realization of like how not ideal it is, I mean, yeah. I do think the Tanjiro should be a better experience than it is. For example, it doesn't even get the EXP activations. Like, if you can, I don't know how you get it. Because, like, here, let me pop one over back to my MapleStory. In the journal here, one of the Demon Slayer things is this EXP activation buff, right? Zenitsu and Onosuke. Basically, you get 20 procs, and you get, like, an experience proc. It's just like an experience proc event. But for some reason, Tanjiro doesn't get this. Tanjiro doesn't get any of this shit. Doesn't get the event buffs, doesn't get this, obviously doesn't get its support skill, probably because he is Tanjiro. If you can get this, I don't know how you do it. Let me know how you get it. If you can get it, I don't think you can, though. And that's just another thing that makes it, like, I don't know, it just sucks. Because it's just like, why? But yeah, Tanjiro isn't a free 260, and I think a lot of people were expecting it to be, and it's just not the case. But one thing I will say is the hyper burning coupon that you get, you only need to get them to level 200. And I mean, I showed you guys how I got mine to 200. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and it still only took me like 50 minutes of just uninterrupted gameplay, which is not that bad. So even on a fresh account, I cannot imagine it taking more than like maybe 2 hours tops. So that's the biggest reward from the Tanjiro stuff, in my opinion, which is the Hyper Burninator. So, I mean, it's still relatively easy to get. It's just not two free 260s, you know? But what can you do? I do think that I wish it was better, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and be like, well, no, I wish it was better. But I feel like we have the tools and understanding to know that it was going to be like this. And it's just people caught off guard. So this was patch day. The account has not been verified. Please follow the instructions in your email to complete verification before playing MapleStory. Holy shit, I had a stroke. Help me. Basically, day that servers came up, there were a bunch of issues. Servers eventually ended up crashing and rolling back slightly. A lot of people were upset. Something I will say, I did roll these pets that I have right here, these vac pets, before the server went down, and it was within the window of when things were being rolled back. So I don't know for sure, but I'm like 99% sure my shit got rolled back. And when I eventually logged back on, all of the pets that I rolled were still in my inventory, but they were not in the order in which I rolled them in, because I took a screenshot. Since I got really lucky. I got 4 vac pets in 44 packs, I think, or 55 packs. I got 3 of the vac pets from the last 11. I got very lucky. And I was very upset, thinking that I was just going to lose this shit because they weren't going to have the logs, because it crashed and it rolled back. And if you crash, if a server crashes, generally the logs are fucked too. But I don't know. I didn't get rolled back. Some people claim they got rolled back, but everyone that I know personally, I mean, obviously this is an anecdote, everyone that rolled stuff around the same time that I did also kept all of their stuff, and we like rolled it at the same time within the like time frame of where people were losing their character data. And I didn't log out or anything. I didn't change channel. I sat here, literally, this is what I was doing. I sat here and rolled, and then I went to go eat dinner, and then when I came back, the servers were fucked. But that is to say, I'm not sure how many people actually lost NX items. I know some people definitely did, and I think more of the lost NX stuff has to do with things like philo books and claiming the philo books and like getting things from them. But it seems like the Wonder Berries, at least, because all of my friends, we basically rolled them all at the same time, and none of us had issues. But all of our pets were in different orders. So that's kind of why I think they had like logs and they manually re-added the stuff back in. It's not relevant too much to the story, but I did just want to kind of give my own anecdotal like evidence in that I do think the logs are there for the NX items at least, and not so much like the coupon items or like the equip items or like use items or, you know, like game items, I guess. So that's maybe why some people had issues with like philo books, because if you get a philo book, it like gives you an actual item in the game, and maybe the log for that wasn't necessarily tracked. I don't know. We'll never know unless Nexon outright says it. But the main thing that people were upset about is like transferring stuff over to their Tanjiro during that period, because there's some people who like had issues where they transferred over all of their meso and the server crashed. Their meso is now no longer on their Tanjiro, and their meso is no longer in their storage. The meso is just gone. There should be a log of like them transferring the meso into storage and then it going to the Tanjiro and just fucking poofing. But I think that's a lot of what people were complaining about. Also, another thing that people were complaining about is the fact that if you claim the in-game rewards for your Tanjiro, obviously the Tanjiro like levels and stuff got rolled back, which really fucking sucks. And like the claimed rewards and stuff didn't get reset either, so you have to send in tickets for all this stuff. They will end up fixing this, you just have to send in tickets, and the ticket system is very overloaded right now, unsurprisingly. So it will take a while, but it will eventually get fixed. That being said, at least it doesn't seem to be that bad when it comes to NX items, because I think if NX items were severely affected in that rollback too, we would be seeing an absolute meltdown. I mean, I would be sad since I got super lucky for once and I thought I was going to have 0 vac pets, and I was like very surprised when I logged in to see all of them there. But that being said, it was a very, I guess, I want to say it was a very eventful week, but I'm not sure eventful is the right word. It was a very servers are on fire week. Anyways, as always, thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. Like the video if you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye!